Hello everyone. So today we will be studying about G20. Actually, I was revising this topic for GS2 International Relations subtopic, and this is a Prahar PW book. So I thought to study this topic along with you guys. So let's start. G20. G20 is a grouping. I'll here read points very specific to the point which can be used for writing a 2-pager or a 3-pager answers in mains. So here only we will read the important keywords. Like G20 is formed of 20 countries. They formulate policies on financial stability, climate change and sustainable development. This is very common terms. What we can write is it consists of 2/3 of world's population, 85% of global GDP and 75% of global trade. Here we can remember two of data, any one of the data among this two, and 2/3 of world's population. What is its G20's role? G20's role is for shaping the global governance. Global governance is an important keyword. Second, we can say that it promotes broad agenda. Here we can think from various perspectives, from health, education, energy, climate change, corruption, anti-corruption. Many dimensions we can think about the G20's role. Then gender equality. You can think the G20's role in terms of sustainable development goals also. And here the leadership is supported by Troika. It's an important keyword. TROIKA. Troika means the previous, current and incoming presidencies. Like for example, when India was the president of G20 from December 2022 to November 2023, at that point of time Troika was Indonesia, India and Brazil. Means before India, Indonesia was the president, and after India, Brazil became the president of G20. When India was the president of G20, its goal was Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. Means its theme was Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, world is one family. And during the Indian presidency of G20, we have signed a New Delhi Declaration, whose motto was Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Sabka Vishwas. And what are the keywords important for the New Delhi Declaration? They've discussed about the Russian-Ukraine war, and African Union was included as a permanent G20 member. Thirdly, India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor, IMEC corridor, which is rail and sea trade route between India to Europe via Middle East. This is an important thing. Then Global Biofuel Alliance was launched by India, US and Brazil promoted it. And then there is important keyword digital public infrastructure. Digital public infrastructure. This was a voluntary framework adopted. India became the voice of Global South during this summit. It expanded India's image globally, and also it promoted millets as a climate resilient crops. As we know, International Year of Millets was declared. Then after that, the 18th G20 summit was held in Brazil, whose key takeaways were social inclusion, poverty eradication, health access, climate, global governance, as we have read it before, tax justice. You can, if you get the keyword now, you can write the basic arguments and with few examples for your means answer. Now we understood about the role of G20. There are some G20 challenges, like priorities are diverse because it highlights the gap between developed nations and developing nations. Developed nations always focus on advanced technology, green energy, but developing nations main agenda remains poverty reduction, economic growth. This were the conflict arising in G20. Then there is limited authority. There is no legal enforcement power of G20, so which creates another problem and challenge. And G20 is not able to tackle the global challenges of climate change and economic inequality. There is no equal distribution of resources, and often there is conflicts over climate finance. And there is rise of protectionism and trade conflicts, as we have seen about the Trump's rising tariff rates for developing nations is hitting the economy. There is geopolitical rivalries, like as we have seen between Russia and West, US, China, Israel conflicts. So this has led to divisions within the G20 summit. And the global south is underrepresented as the major voice remains in the hands of developed nations. So what we can do to way forward to tackle these challenges: first, we have to embrace inclusivity. Second, we have to ensure continuity. We have to focus on long term goals and track, we have to track the progress on commitments, and we have to empower the middle income countries and global south priorities. We can coordinate with UN agencies also. So here are some keywords from G20: Vasudev Kutumbakam, Life Initiative, Multilateralism Reform, WTO, WHO, North-South collaboration, regional collaboration like Neighborhood First, Inclusive Engagement, Jan Bhagidari, Voice for the Global South, Equal Access, and Just World Order.